Hello everyone, welcome on back to Survival Challenge. Alright, so first things first, we got, two fields there that do need to be sprayed for weeds, so we'll just get that out of the way right away before it's, too late in. Do have liquid fertilizer in here. Must be from when we did the two grass fields a while ago at this point. Yeah, I did not see any other mills that looked like a better option, really. I saw one that was $50,000, but it was the same thing where it had a windmill on it. And it was same directional sides, so it just, yeah, it looked like we'd have a similar issue. And then there's one other one that was $240,000, which that was already one of the options I had now, so I wasn't gonna obviously download that one. So seems like our main option is what we kind of have is to do that one, and it may not look the best, but then we'll probably have it kind of like a direction where it spawns out in the way that it's easier for us to pick up the product. Because in theory, we'll be picking up from it more often than unloading into it. I would imagine, at least. Because really, we're only gonna do one canola field a year, basically. So it's gonna be pretty infrequent use of that. We'll just make sure, obviously, we got enough room in there, but that's the biggest thing. Make sure you have enough room, but then obviously at some point, once like the corn is going, we'll put that production in there, and then we'll probably just kind of loop it around, so you kind of go completely around and come back out onto the road. Then in the future, obviously, I talked about other productions, and we'll try to fit those in there as well, and yeah. Obviously, I talked about maybe doing like a small bit of cows, and if we do, they'd be on that grass field there, and then we'd have still a little bit of room there for any sort of productions. There are some nice, mods and stuff that have come out that do look interesting. Like some of the, like raspberry production, I think there is, and there's an apple one and stuff. I don't know if that'll be stuff that we'll get into right away in here, but they'd be intriguing options for future series to use. Yeah, I'd have to check if those productions, like apples and stuff, if they can be sold freely, or do they need a special sell point? Just out of that. Apple will be right up here. Sell everything would sell, obviously, so they would need a special sell point. Apple juice and raspberry was the other one. That one can be sold anywhere. Holy, raspberries are expensive to sell. You must not make a lot of them or something, right? I do have this modded in here. It's like Garage Menu, I think it's called. It's a lot easier to obviously see what you own and see what it's worth, and yeah. Thought I mentioned that. Oh, does it say what it goes into for that? That's the juice factory. It'd be a greenhouse probably. That's the apple tree. Raspberry gardens, the seeds, and then you get raspberries from it. I don't know how much you'd be producing there, but I don't know. It's a little bit interesting. I'd be curious if it's almost too much or not. Sometimes mods can be pretty out there. Yeah, that's That's a lot of money for that. Yeah, not sure we'd be doing that, but I kind of already sprayed some. Oh, the lines really don't help me in this case. No. Yeah, 17 grand. You have to like make what 4 pallets a year? Like that is an insane amount. If it's like you produce a ton of it, I'd have to look at that, honestly. That price is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, it doesn't look like it's that big of a production site, so in theory, you probably wouldn't make that much, but no. I assume it's somewhat in line with some of the other ones. I might place the multi-grain production too for that, for the corn, which I think, yeah, I would do flour and stuff. So if we still wanted to do flour, we could run it through there instead. I'm pretty sure it's a fairly quick production. I forget, I keep this down here. I might place that right now, both of those right now. I'm probably gonna go with the largest. I'm assuming it's gonna be the fastest. So I kind of want to obviously make sure it's far enough out so we can turn around in here easily. Get in here with trailers and all that too. Something like right there. And we have this production up here. Yeah, it does do all the other flowers and stuff. Fortunately, it does not do other mill duties. And then you empty, unload it in that side. I'm gonna try to push it, hoping to push it fairly close right into here. Alright, obviously we're gonna have to do a little bit of softening around this, it seemed like. Does it look fairly flat going around there? Yeah. That's two more productions down. It's not, obviously we got a lot of more room over here than I thought we would, but still got plenty of room to put other things in here. Sure, yeah, it looks fairly flat in there. And something I have been forgetting to do a lot recently is charge myself for gravel placement and stuff. So this is probably going to be a little bit more money than normal. I think we'll do 2 grand just because I know for certain I've been forgetting to do it quite often. So there might be a lot that might be shorted. Yeah, we have 2 productions down, basically, right there. Be nice to have them, you know, both down right now. I mean, obviously we're not going to need the one. Oh, the planter's right up here. I was looking in the usual spot, not where I put it last time. I'll have to figure this out, but yeah, I have a couple more productions into the arsenal of productions. Quite a few in here. Obviously, the nice thing about multi-grain is we can do a lot of things in here. We can even do whole wheat bread, which we need obviously whole wheat flour, which is just wheat. So that's something new we could do that we couldn't do, before. But obviously, the corn flour was the reason we were doing it. Almost do that. Only thing we'd be short would be raisins, which we could produce eventually. Honey we could produce too. Obviously, you get the normal ones too, but what is the sell price for that cereal? Just cereal. It's just the sell. Pretty good. It's pretty good. And what whole wheat bread was the other one? Pretty good as well. Might have to look into doing some of that stuff. we'll have the options. So, you know, why not? If we got the options. And then obviously we got this, which we will mainly be doing for canola oil. That is quite a bit it'll do. It'll run through what? Almost 8,000 liters of canola a month. Not quite as many for olives. Which what I might do for olives is if we have some extra cycles, maybe I'll bring a couple pallets over there or something one time. Really, I'd bring two pallets over there so we could get one pallet or something just every once in a while. Just so it's something. I'm not gonna, obviously the main priority is to do the canola though. Which I will turn on for the time being. That way it's on now before I forget. Really, I should buy some more seeds and everything if we're going to do a large field like that. And yeah, of course, obviously we're empty. We don't have anything in there. Desal fertilizer. Another 2,000 liters because, yeah, we can go through quite a bit. And then we'll buy another 1,000 liters of seeds. Should almost get that full. Which obviously we won't use any fertilizer on the soybeans, but we'll use it on the canola. So it'll just be nice to have a bunch there. Not sure maybe we could do wheat in like that top field. So we do the whole wheat bread and stuff. The cereal, I mean, we're not that far away. I mean, we could easily do oats. The raisins would be the hardest thing, and there are some. Well, actually, we have. These can do grapes. We could produce a little bit of them, and just put them in like a small production or something. Trouble is, obviously, you'd want a slightly larger production what the really small ones are for base game, because those would take forever to go through, and you really wouldn't produce enough raisins probably to keep up. Well, I'm just gonna do a short little time lapse. We'll get this finished out nice and quick, so I'll talk to everyone once the time lapse is done.
as their patience grows thinner, thinner.
Alright, so we're just about done here with the canola. Then I'll get all put into the trailer. It won't be a ton, it looks like, but it'll still be like 16,000 liters. We'll get it all put into the production, and obviously we'll see what we'll get from it, how much. It looks like it'll go through it fairly quick, which is good to see, especially considering there's going to be a really big field with canola in it pretty soon. This a little bit down here too. Oh, there's no. I did it twice now. I did once during the time lapse. There's no more harvest coming up soonish, so we'll probably just park the combine out here, I guess. I don't know where to park it otherwise. I do need to kind of figure out a spot for a larger shed or something down here. Just make it a little bit better, but yeah, we'll undo the large planting, which will take a while. How is the environmental score looking? Obviously, we've done a couple of harvests recently. 91. This dropped down from nitrogen. Which one? This one? Bet it was this one right here. Yeah, that'd be the only one that would have dropped it. Yeah. Did I plant this without the sensor many months ago? I might have. That might have did it. Nitrogen shows 105. pH is a little bit low in spots. That was bad. Okay. A little bit of loam. That was also bad. Yeah, and it does need, looks like it might need pH too. And nitrogen was bad. So yeah, I clearly did not do it with the sensor, I would imagine then. Considering these say obviously perfect on it because I did it with the sensor. Yeah, clearly I must have not did it with the sensor at the time. So it'll have to be better next time. I thought I did, but I must have not have. Maybe I didn't turn it on. And yes, obviously I know, you know, a little bit something weird with the header. It's something only when we do canola for some reason, the header changes. I don't know. It'll automatically change back as soon as we switch, though, to any other crop, so. We'll just park this here for now. Oh, park it, not turn it on. Yeah, almost 17,000 liters from the canola, not too bad. We'll go and get this put into the production. Our little production area is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Slowly and surely it'll be something even bigger. Although we'll see. We'll see. Pretty sure you gotta open this, don't you? I think you gotta open it. Yep. I'm pretty sure I've seen other people use it and they've had to open it. So I'm gonna assume it's the same way for me. There we go. Yeah, the raisins would be the biggest thing for cereal. Otherwise, we would have most of the other stuff available to us. So that's kind of the biggest thing would be raisins, if I'm correct. The raisin cereal. Oh, and honey, which that's easy enough to be able to get. I think more likely we'll worry about doing like this stuff first. Then we'll kind of figure it out after that. Which there should be blockers, I believe, so it doesn't spawn. Which will obviously one up for some things, like when we're doing some of the flowers. Alright, well, we got this really big field to do here, so hopefully we have enough seeds and everything. I would hope so. Only one way to find out is to do it, but gonna use a lot of fertilizer, lots of seeds. Yeah, and I think it'll be like medium seed rate basically the whole way through. So we'll see. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. But off we go. Putting the canola in, we'll be able to do this at a much larger scale for canola oil then. Which would be nice. Be nice. Obviously, like I was saying, if we have a little bit extra production space in there, I might just move a couple of olive pallets down there or something. Especially if we're sitting there waiting with nothing else going on for a couple months, which we will probably have. Why not make a little bit extra from the olives? Why not? I think they even sell around the same period. Which they'll be in different sections in here. Olive oil is about June, 8,500. And olives, about 2,000 in June. It's about $4,000 worth of olives to produce $8,000. So why not? Why wouldn't I? Just as a little bit of extra income. Wouldn't be a ton, but it'd be something. Oh, I accidentally planted over in a couple of spots. This is a direct drill, so it'll just plant over top. Not sure if we'll have a ton of extra space, like once this field is being processed through there. Honestly, how much capacity does that have? 25,000 liters. Why is it more for olives? Why is olives 30,000 and the rest are 25? Like, if you're doing olives like the regular way, you're not going to produce that much. Oh. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, we'll likely get more than 25,000 liters from this, so we'll be having to keep some in the silo and then move it over as needed. Yeah, this is going to take a very, very long time, so now be prepared, I guess. Be prepared. I know when I do these really long ones, I usually just listen to music while I'm doing the time-lapse portion, because it's always such a long one. Well, I think I'll go ahead and start the time-lapse. It'll be quite some time, I'm sure, to finish this out, so be prepared for a very long time-lapse, I'm sure. So I'll talk to everyone once the time-lapse is done.
Stood in the fire, burned with desire, love and emotion, guns with devotion. Stood in the fire, burned with desire, love and emotion, guns with devotion. Stood in the fire.
Well, we are just about done with the canola planting. It has been a long time coming, that is for certain. In total, that time lapse will be just over 30 minutes long, like prior to speeding it up. So, yeah, it was a long time just sitting here getting this finished out, but it is done, and you can probably see why I have said in the past why I might want a different drill. As we get bigger fields, it might be nice. It might be nice. See if I can find the one that I had talked about in the past. Up here? Right here. There we go. This one. 18.2 meters. Oh, this one, actually. Yeah. 18.2 meters, which is, yeah, like 7 meters bigger than this one. And it's faster. It's faster plant time. Obviously, that's likely the one to go with. Likely. But obviously, it's one of those things. I want to get the corn header first, because that's going to be a needed item sooner rather than later. Really, if we keep this drill for another year, basically, until we have to plant this field again, I think I'll be happy. I think I'll be happy. Nice part is we won't have to spray for weeds, as it was plowed. It was a plowed field. So we won't have to worry about that, at least. So, yeah, next month we'll have that field there. We'll get that probably limed, planted. That one over there will need to be sprayed for weeds. Maybe we can potentially work on getting this field opened up. We'll see. We'll see. And honestly, I think what I might do is I'll make like a road that goes around that whole area too. I just thought of that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know. It's just one of the many ideas that I have that'll take a little bit to do, but you know, not sure how close we are to getting our first. Oh, we're quite a ways from getting our first ballot, so. Anyways, that is about everything for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.